Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a bit since I've done an ICO review, and I decided that's going to be the topic of today's video. First, I'd like to start by thanking the Universal Protocol team for sponsoring this video. Some occasional sponsored stuff helps to keep the lights on, so thank you guys for reaching out to me. Now, before I get started, I'd like to make sure that everyone knows that ICOs are highly speculative, and this video is not my financial advice for you to participate in the ICO or to invest. This video's purpose is for me to cover something that I find interesting and that I wanted to share with you guys. Also, heads up, I have a feeling this is going to be a long video, so hang in there. As a reminder, I do have a Discord server and a Patreon if you'd like to come chat. If you're looking for a great crypto newsletter, check out the Blockchain Brief. It's a publication that I write for, as well as a ton of other content creators. It's a monthly subscription and it's pretty sweet. All the links for that and everything for this video will be down below. Something, I'm not a financial advisor, something, do your own research. What is Universal Protocol? Well, the team set out to address the largest issues that we see in the ecosystem today, which is the ability to instantly and seamlessly transfer value across different decentralized networks. Universal wants to provide a common language, which allows otherwise incompatible protocols to speak to one another. This should reduce cost, time, and risk of losing digital assets during conversion. The platform wants to facilitate effortless conversion and decentralization of tokenized assets like commodities, equities, crypto, and debt. Who are the team and who are the advisors? Dan Chat is the chairman of Universal Protocol. He's also the co-founder and the president of Cred, which is a decentralized lending platform and protocol that's built on the Ethereum blockchain. He's the former general manager of financial innovations at PayPal and the author of Virtual Banking, A Guide to Innovation and Partnering. Dan received his MBA and MIA from Columbia University. Next is Juan Pablo. He's focused on strategy and operations. Juan has founded and co-founded a number of companies in the real estate, agriculture, and the technology sectors, including, but not limited to, Uphold. Some of you may be familiar with this site. It's a payment processor, but it's also used as the cash-out method for people using the Brave browser. Juan received a BA from Yale University. And then we have Tiago Ribeiro, who is the lead engineer. He's also the co-chief technology officer at Uphold, but prior to becoming part of Uphold's founding team in 2014, Tiago was the lead engineer at Signo, a digital company that he co-founded in 2008. He's got a master's degree in computer science from a university in Portugal. The next important thing to touch on is the UP Alliance, or the Universal Protocol Alliance. This is a coalition of existing cryptocurrency companies in the space. The goal of this alliance is to accelerate the adoption of blockchain tech by making digital assets more accessible, secure, and convenient. The alliance wants to facilitate greater connectivity with the legacy financial systems. And no single or central authority controls the alliance. The trust is a not-for-profit organization. The founding members of this alliance are no joke. First, Blockchain at Berkeley, which is a team of individuals who are either scientists, business leaders, or R&D professionals whose main focus is blockchain tech. Second is Brave, which is one of my all-time favorite projects. Brave is a web browser which gives its users a safer and faster and better way to use the internet. This project was founded by Brendan Eich. Why is he important? Well, he's just the creator of a few small projects like JavaScript and the co-founder of Mozilla Firefox. Next is Cred, which is a decentralized lending platform that's built on Ethereum. I mentioned that before. Also FBG Capital, which is a large group of institutional investors interested specifically in digital assets. Another one is Uphold, which again I mentioned before. This is a gateway platform for crypto, meaning basically it allows users to convert fiat to digital assets and back. It's already servicing over 184 countries. And then lastly is Bittrex, which is quite a large exchange. All right, now let's take a look at the ICO. The token sale will have a public and private offering. The team will be conducting a 2-week public token sale. The price per token will be 1 cent per UPT. Tokens will be distributed and activated shortly after the purchase with immediate usability on the Universal Protocol platform. Ignore the ICO date here, it's obviously not accurate. As expected with this generation of ICOs, public participants need to go through the standard KYC or Know Your Customer procedures, meaning they will need to validate who they are and where they are. You'll be able to purchase UPT using ETH. Now, as far as the private sale goes, it's aimed at key stakeholders and strategic partners in order to incentivize participation in the ecosystem. Tokens will be sold during a period that will be subject to various lockup schedules. The lockup periods will be 5 years for the Treasury, 3 years for the stakeholders, and then 3 years for the alliance partners. On to the technology and the more important stuff. UPT is an ERC20 token, which means that, like a lot of other projects, it will be run on the Ethereum blockchain. However, in an interview with CryptoZombie, the founder revealed that if Ethereum's scalability gets in the way, they built the platform to be blockchain agnostic, meaning that they could switch over to, say, EOS if that becomes the new titan of platforms. They're not specifically bound to Ethereum. Reference video here.
We think that right now Ethereum is sort of the most evolved smart contract platform. But if everything moved to EOS, if that took off, the way we built this out, we could put everything on EOS. So we're not locked in to Ethereum, we're just betting that right now that is the best smart contract investment.
10 billion UPT tokens will be minted by the Genesis contract, and the distribution will be as follows. 3.5 billion will be allocated to the token sale. 2.2 billion will go on to the alliance partners. 2.5 billion to the stakeholders, 1.5 billion to the treasury, and 300 million to the ecosystem partners. The Universal Protocol uses smart contracts to issue universal proxies at a fixed 1-to-1 ratio with matching assets in the platform's reserve. In other words, for every universal Bitcoin issued on the primary market, a real Bitcoin is acquired and held in reserve to substantiate its value. As a result, any universal proxy can be redeemed for any underlying asset that it represents at any time. Using UPT to tokenize Bitcoin would allow for it to be utilized on an Ethereum platform. It would make it compatible with smart contracts, which is a very cool concept. Basically, what this all means is that Universal plans to make any blockchain compatible with the Ethereum blockchain and what comes with all of that, meaning dApps, exchanges, and smart contracts. Now, I'm sure at this point you're all thinking, great, another unreliable stablecoin. However, I'd like to disagree with you here. A very important point to go over is Universal really prioritizes transparency. The platform will publish the reserve holdings and related transaction histories for every proxy token on the public blockchain of the underlying cryptocurrencies. In addition, the reserve will be audited on a biannual basis, and all integrated exchanges will be given access to the audit reports, meaning, wait for it, all the audits will be available to the public. Take that, Tether. The project states it's going to follow a hybrid decentralization model. This means that there is going to be some involvement of the platform that is centralized, but this doesn't mean that it's inherently bad. For example, there's an estimated 3.79 million Bitcoin which are in limbo today because the private keys have either been lost, gone missing, or laptops have got thrown away or whatever. When something is tokenized on Universal, the item or coin or whatever it is held in custody like a security for safekeeping. The platform will also allow the option to store copies of your private keys in custody as well, which will allow users to easily recover them or have them passed down to other family members in the event you pass away or something drastic happens. This will probably be a point of contention for some. I get it. But I truly believe that in order to get more people into this space, there's going to have to be some projects that have these kinds of safeguards. Now, I'm not saying everyone will use them or even that everyone has to, but it's nice to have the option. The token will also allow for voting rights and governance on the platform, which is super important. Another cool feature is their wallet. It's going to be detachable, meaning it can directly connect to an exchange, such as Uphold, and temporarily allow control of its assets to the exchange. During a trading session, the funds are under the control of the exchange to be able to facilitate transactions and ensure that the buy and sell orders can be matched properly. The UP wallet will allow users to easily withdraw their crypto back to the wallet after they're done trading. Ideally, this will also make the process easier so less people have to leave stuff on exchanges. When can we expect some fun stuff out of the project? Well, the roadmap states that Q1 of 2019 would be the launch of the Bitcoin proxy token, integration with Cred, and decentralized exchanges. However, considering their ICO hasn't gone on yet, I'm not sure that's the case. I am, however, super interested to see what exchanges start to pick it up, though. Currently, I'm also unsure of when the ICO actually is. It would be an important tidbit of knowledge to get, but I couldn't figure it out, so I apologize. So, yeah. What would I consider the pros of the project? The fact that they're creating proxy assets is a big plus. This allows for the platform to better secure the cryptocurrency that they're holding because it's not going anywhere, it's not being lended out, and the proxy token actually takes its place. Usability is definitely a pro. Allowing all these different blockchains to interact with one another is going to open up a lot more liquidity and hopefully decrease new people's fear in the space. The ability to recover private keys, again, it may be a con for some, but for the average person I see as being as a pro. Not to mention that their users can pass down their keys to family members if something happens to them. That's super useful. The detachable wallet is pretty neat. The white paper states that it's going to be a dApp, so I'm wondering if that's like it's going to be an extension on your web browser. Either way, you're going to have complete control of your funds and you're not going to need to store them on an exchange. Very good strength. The UP Alliance really seals the deal on the project for me as far as legitimacy goes. That's a huge pro. They have some very heavy hitters behind them. On to people's most favorite part, the cons. If we use Satoshi's vision as a benchmarker for what crypto is supposed to be, Universal Protocol can't be considered an electronic cash without a third-party involvement. There is some centralization to the project, but I would argue for a good reason, but even still, it's not fully hands-off. Another con would be competition, I think. There's loads of projects out there that are working on interoperability as their main goal. Other projects focusing on cross-chain swaps and so on. I feel that this context is going to be a bit of a race to the finish for these projects. And liquidity could be an issue. This one's very speculative because it's more so dependent on how many exchanges it gets listed on and which ones in particular. But if the token doesn't end up being very popular, it'd make it very difficult to move around and use. My last con would be awareness, and I think this is a pretty big one. Considering who's a part of their alliance and their advisors, you would think that the project would have more buzz about it, but it really doesn't. Their Twitter's super quiet, same with their Reddit page. They should use some of their time and effort on building a project awareness and community support. Last but not least, my final thoughts. I'm very impressed by the alliance that they've put together. Obviously, I think I've mentioned that quite a few times. And impressed by the people who've signed up to be a part of it. I also like the concept of actual collateralized assets in a safe and secure manner. Not to mention the project's going to prioritize transparency, which is huge if we compare it to projects like Tether. I do worry about first mover advantage in the space. I mean, I don't think they necessarily have any direct competitors, but they definitely have competitors if that's indirect or whatever. I'm interested to see if they can really pull off and follow through on all their promises. Well, that sums it up for me today. As always, I'd like to thank everyone at home who continues to watch my stuff. I love the support. You guys rule, and I'll see you all soon. Did you like this review of the Universal Protocol? Because if so, I've got a bunch of other review videos as well as a ton of other content in my playlist over there. Go check it out. Leave me some comments about how you feel. And as always, thanks for watching the channel.